What is up, Texas hockey fans? Welcome to Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast. The boys are on a 4-game win streak now. 4 games in a row after a little 2-game skid there. The boys are tic-tac-toeing 4 in a row, and the boys look good. The Stars look really good. It's 2 really good wins in a row, maybe 3. I don't know. That's just it's a good week of hockey right there from the Dallas Stars. We're going to get into it today on Clean Sheet of Ice, the Texas Hockey Podcast, brought to you by Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang over here, Zang responsibly all season long. And shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code CSOI when you sign up. Play your first $5 and get $75 in bonus entries using our promo code CSOI. I'm your host, Stone Strankman. We're doing a solo pod today. Dom's having surgery today. Savannah had a bajillion hour work day yesterday with the Cowboys and Stars game. So it's just me. It's just me. We're going to be talking about Anaheim, the Maple Leafs, and previewing the Detroit game. It is Dad's trip for the Stars. The dad showed up last night for the game against Toronto at home. Looked like they were having a great time. It looked like they did some tequila shots after the game. It was a little – boys are buzzing. The boys are buzzing. But before we get to that, let's talk about the Anaheim game. Friday night, wow is pretty much the only word I could use. It started off very quickly in the first period. Oscar Back gets a shorthanded goal from Radek Faksa. Faksa had that awesome forecheck, gets behind the net, pokes the puck free. It goes to Oscar with just a easy, free, wide open one-timer in front of the net. The goalie, Dostal, basically had no chance against that one. And awesome play by Faksa. He made it happen, but Oscar for trailing and making sure that Faksa had a little bit of backup there if he was able to get that puck free. Awesome goal, because we haven't had any shorties really this year. I know we had one against the Minnesota Wild a week or two ago. Miro Heiskanen gets the first one of the season. We're like, okay, maybe this opens the floodgates. Radek Faksa has created a lot of chances to get opportunities shorthanded, but they haven't really converted. This one they get converted. Oscar gets that goal. Good for Oscar. We talked about him last week after the Kings game. I believe he got that goal, and everyone was really excited that Oscar got a goal. And that's kind of how they feel. Is he's a fourth-line grinder. He does all the right things. He plays a lot of minutes on the PK. He's a disruptor, and he does everything correctly. He just does the right thing at the right times all the time, basically. So for Oscar to get a goal, everyone's really excited. He's gotten a few now. He's just getting goals left and right. A little Oscar Beck, you know? So great one. Forecheck for Faksa, awesome. And then getting the one-timer over to Oscar was incredible. Basically right after that, Roope Hintz gets his first goal of the game. Me and Savannah called it on our happy hour on Thursday night. We were like, look, Roope, the goals aren't just standing out on the score sheet. You know, they're there. He's kind of streaky. He's kind of not. He's kind of inconsistent on the goals scoring portion of his game this season. We're like, we would love to see him kind of get going here. And obviously he got going against San Jose, gets going against Anaheim. He's kind of flying up and down the ice now. You can see it on the offensive end of the zone, and you can see that he's got a little bit more of that sharpshooter that we see out of Roope. I say that Roope has one of the hardest shots in practice, just a wrist shot, just flying down the ice and just shooting a wrist shot. It's one of the hardest on the team, and it's good for Roope to get that goal. It's 2 in a row for him on Anaheim, Thursday, Friday. So that was awesome to get him going. It was a good goal from Roope. You're up 2-0 or 2-1. Obviously, Anaheim scored right after you did with the shorthanded goal, but you get it back. Roope goes up 2-1, and then it's still the first period. This is the craziest thing. This game was insane. You go to the first period. Sam Steele gets into the zone. He kind of holds off the defender on the right side of the net. He's flying in. He somehow gets the puck off of his stick, kind of one-handed. Didn't really get a good shot off of it, but good deflection. And the puck goes into the back of the net, but so does Sam Steele. Sam Steele knocks the whole goal off of its posts, flies into it. You can tell that he's a little shaken up, hit him kind of right in the chest. He lost a glove. It was in the middle of the ice at one point. Sam Steele gets that goal, though, to count. They looked at it. The goal had already happened before any of the contact with the goalie happened. So great goal for Sam. Obviously, we needed him to start seeing him to go in, and him being on the top line and all. And we were just like, man, there's just a lid on the goal for Sam Steele. And Sam Steele finally gets another one to go in. That's a few now. We're going to get to him in a second again on Sunday night. But Sam Steele starting to score a little bit. And I wonder if it has anything to do with him going back down to the third line. I'm just asking because Sam Steele on the top line, I thought he was good. He just didn't finish the chances, and I think there's a lot more pressure on the top line than there is on the third line when you're playing with Mikko Rantanen and Wyatt Johnston, who are two highly skilled, highly just massive hockey IQ guys that are some of the best in the sport. And when you're and Sam Steele's incredibly skilled too. He's an NHLer for a reason. He was a first round pick for a reason. He does all the right things. It's just I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the pressure or whatever. I need to talk to him about it when I get back from vacation in January. But Sam gets that goal, and he's playing on that third line with Jamie Benn and Ritzkovian and Maverick Bork and all the guys down there, and it just fits better. And I loved him down there last season on the fourth line grinders forever, and now he's kind of on that third line grinders forever now. But great goal from Sam Steele. You're up 3-1. Then Thomas Harley, just a typical Thomas Harley shot that we saw last season after Miro Heiskanen went out. Gets it, just snipes it, just pulls the wrister right out of nowhere, and you're up 4-1 in the first period. And they pulled Dostal in the first period. It's 4-1. And they had 4 goals on 8 shots, I believe, at that moment in time. Absolutely insane first period. And then you move on to the second period. You start on a power play. Robo gets a power play goal. Shocker. Oh, and then right after that, Robo gets a 5-on-5 goal, which was disgusting, by the way. Him just deking through the zone. I'm going to say it. Jason Robertson looks a lot like Luka Doncic on ice. And what I mean by that is that Luka has this thing that he calls fast slow, where he speeds up and then he slows down his steps as he's getting to the rim to kind of throw the rhythm off of the defender. Jason Robertson kind of does the same thing. When he enters the zone or he gets into the defender, it looks very slow, but he's working fast at the same time. So this one was awesome. He gets through the zone, gets to that backhand. He freezes the goaltender on the left side of the post. He just frees open that whole right side, basically the entire net. And Robo sends it up top shelf backhanded. It was a beautiful goal. And it reminded me a lot of what Luka Doncic does on the basketball court. I know that's a little sensitive for Dallas fans like myself, but I saw it and I was like, that was very Luka-esque because not many people are able to play slow in hockey and score the way that Jason Robertson does. So good for Robo. Back-to-back goals there to make it 6-1. Then obviously towards the end of the period, Adam Ernie's like, you know what? I'll just score. First game back in a long time. Welcome back, Adam Ernie, getting activated off of LTIR. It was good to see him. Talked to him in the locker room the day before their road trip. Great guy. I like Adam Ernie. He's a lot of fun. He's big body. He throws around his hits very well. He's another fourth line grinder. Just a mass of fourth line grinders on this team. Love it dearly. Adam Ernie gets that one to go in. 7-1. It just was kind of a tap in. The puck hit him at the right point of the top of the crease, basically. Goal's kind of wide open. Adam Ernie takes it 7-1. And you're sitting there like, is this game going to end? Because it was a 9 p.m. start time. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, this game's going to last forever. There's too many goals. I didn't know when I was going to go to sleep. I didn't know if I was ever going to go to sleep because there was just so many goals. I mean, the Ducks had 1, but the Stars had 7. There's already 8 goals. And the third period hadn't even started. Absolutely insane. The Ducks get 1 pretty early, about a minute and a second, I believe, into the period. And then Ilya Lyubushkin might have had the best goal of the game. Strangely, weirdly, Ilya Lyubushkin getting on the score sheet. Now every single skater for the Dallas Stars had scored this season after that Ilya Lyubushkin goal. Absolutely disgusting snipe. He's from a very tight angle over on the right side of the post, and it was just a gross snipe. He sent it basically top corner, right in between the shoulder and the face mask of the goalie, and there was no room to shoot that, and somehow Ilya Lyubushkin scored it. Of course, it was Ilya Lyubushkin, right? Like, he's good. He does all the right things on defense. I know a lot of people are frustrated with him and wanted Kolyachonok and all that kind of stuff. Ilya Lyubushkin's good. I don't care what anyone says. He gets that goal. It's 8-2. Absolutely insane game. The Ducks end up scoring another one. It ends up being 8-3 final score. But the main thing from this game was kind of a dirty play. Not kind of a dirty play. It was a dirty play. So Robo's into the zone. He's kind of on a breakaway. Frank Vetrano slashes Robo on the breakaway. So right there should have been a penalty. They did not call that. Robo's upset. He obviously looked at his hands right after. He's like, what the hell was that? Got slashed. No call. Bullshit. Whatever. So he turns around and slashes Vetrano right back as they're skating back towards the other part of the zone. And Vetrano He didn't like that. He lost his mind. Not a hockey play at all. He jumps on top of Robo's back, grabs him by the neck, gets him to the ground, and then still has him by the neck, and then is starting to take his head and shove it into the ice. Um, Absolutely dirty play. And the one thing that kind of bothered me was that like Rope Hintz got taken out. Like ACLs were intact for this one, but like they could have been very much hurt. Knees, ankles, feet, whatever. Like a lot of things could have been hurt from Vetrano's actions here. And the only thing that bothered me the most about this one outside of Vetrano was that the Stars, obviously Thomas Harley came in to try to do something, but it was like Maverick Bork, Rope Hintz was already on the ground, so he couldn't really do anything because he got taken out by Robo and Vetrano's legs. But only Thomas Harley kind of came into the scrum. And I was like, that didn't remind me of what I saw in the first 2 weeks of the season, where Judson Ritzkovian is standing up for guys. Alexander Petrovic is standing up for Matt Duchene after he took a big hit. I wanted to see a little bit more. I know the score was 8-2 or 8-3 at the time, but at the end of the day, you got to stand up for your guys. And I thought they didn't necessarily do that well. And I know it was a blowout and they didn't want to get fined and all the things. So maybe that's all it was. And maybe I'm just looking into it too much. But yeah, Vetrano, absolutely a dirty play. Robo has a giant welt on his neck. He still had it last night during the game on Sunday night and against Toronto. Giant welt. I was very confused. I didn't know why. I understand why Vetrano was upset. It was 8-2, 8-3, whatever it was. And Robo had a wide open goal and he slashed him. Like at the end of the day, you slashed him. So if Robo slashes you back, you just take that. At the end of the day, you just take that and go on with it. It wasn't really, that was just to get back by Robo. I don't think that was dirty necessarily. He wasn't trying to hurt him. He was just trying to make sure, hey, I know you slashed me, so I'll slash you. Move on or go our separate ways. And they didn't do that. Vetrano ends up getting fined $5,000, which is the maximum allowed by the CBA. That's not enough. That was a dirty play. That was intention to hurt, to harm. And I thought that deserved a 1-game suspension because it was out of nowhere. It really was. It didn't warrant that. Like a shove to the glass or something like that. If after the slash, then sure, whatever. That's just hockey. Boys playing hockey. It is what it is. But to do what he did and only get a $5,000 fine and no suspension or no hearing or anything like that, I thought that was pretty ridiculous. He did get tossed from the game, but it is what it is. So you move on. 8-3. Great game in Anaheim. A tremendous game in Anaheim. You know what else is tremendous, ladies and gentlemen? Mikko Rantanen. We're giving away this Mikko Rantanen bobblehead once we hit 250 subscribers. We're less than 100 away. I think we're 91 away as the time I'm recording this. Just tell your friends, tell your family, tell your kids, whoever, and hit that subscribe button. It's free. All you have to do is go to our YouTube at Clean Sheet of Ice, hit that subscribe button. If you're a really big fan and you want to watch us on YouTube, you can turn on that notification bell. You'll never miss an episode. You'll never miss a short. You'll never miss an extra video that we're going to put out sometime in the new year. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We'll give away this Mikko Rantanen bobblehead once we hit 250 subscribers. So you got to hit that subscribe button to get to the giveaway actually happening. So Mikko Rantanen bobblehead giveaway. Thank you to everyone that's already subscribed. I think we're at like 48% of the people that watch most of our episodes, around 48 to 42%, are already subscribed. So thank you. So the other 52 to 56-ish%, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you on board. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell all the Texas hockey fans in your life to hit that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. And then, the other thing that I appreciate, it's Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code CSOI when you sign up. Play your first $5 and get $75 in bonus entries. Obviously, it's prime NFL season right now. We just had week 16. Monday Night Football is tonight as I'm recording this. You got all the good things with Underdog Fantasy. NBA season is in full swing, and obviously NHL season is in full swing. And you know me. I'm hitting the higher than on Jason Robertson shots on goal because it's usually sitting around 2.5, 3.5. That kid is getting 4, 5, 6 shots on goal night in and night out, regardless of how many shots on goal the rest of the Stars are getting when it's like 15 to 18 or whatever it is. Robo's getting those shots on goal. So I'm hitting that. Jake Ottinger, Ben Stellar in net for a while now. I'm hitting the higher than on saves, and I'm pairing that with one other stat from a different team and a different player. In any sport, you can put them all together and win up to 5,000 times your money with Underdog. Download the app today. Use promo code CSOI to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code CSOY. Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 or older, 19 or older in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 and older in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPEline at 1-877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. That's Underdog Fantasy using promo code CSOY. Play your first $5, get $75 in bonus entries. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. Last night, Toronto. The Maple Leafs come to town, and traditionally, this Stars team does not play well against Toronto. For whatever reason, they lose those games. They play them pretty tight, and then Toronto walks away with the win, even at home or on the road. And that's what I don't know if I was expecting that. I was expecting a win. I was like, they need to change what's kind of happening here. They need to beat Toronto, especially at home, especially with Nick Robertson in town, Jason's brother. The Maple Leafs are bad at the end of the day. They're not very good. I know they're still in contention for the playoffs because everyone in the East is in contention for the playoffs. Look at the Buffalo Sabres, 6-game winning streak as of last night. Impressive from them. But Toronto's not performing up to standards, and it's crazy that Mitch Marner meant that much to that team. Just saying. This team, I was sitting there and was like, all right, they just need to take care of business against this team. If it's 1-0, if it's 2-0, it is what it is. You get the win, you go to Detroit, and you get a little Christmas break. You get those 3-4 days off, and then you head to Chicago on the 27th, and then obviously you have New Year's Eve at home, and then New Year's Day in Chicago. Like, you get a little bit of a reprieve here, holiday season, get Christmas at home, spend the time with the family, all the stuff. Just get the win here, go to Detroit, get another win, and go home. That's all I really wanted. Didn't matter what it looked like. Jason Robertson, let me just tell you, if this kid is not on Team USA when the time comes on December 31st when they announce those rosters, I'm going to be looking. We might record on December 31st after they announce those rosters for Team Canada and Team USA. We might just have to do it and have an episode come out, an emergency episode, if you will. We'll see. Jason Robertson, that puck goes into the zone. They called it unassisted originally, but it was from Foxa, and then Oscar Beck gets the primary assist on this. Oscar basically just flips it into the offensive zone from the D zone, basically neutral zone, and Robo's the only guy up there, but he goes and chases it because he's the only guy, and if it's icing, then that would suck, and then they wouldn't be able to get the change, whatever. Robo fights off. I don't know who was defending him from Toronto, but it was a full-on melee, basically. They're all over each other. They're getting into in each other's faces. They're fighting through to get into the zone, to get to the puck. Robo goes and grabs it on the right side with a very long reach. He's squatting. He reaches as far as he can to gather that puck. He basically just barely gets it on his forehand and sends it to the far side of the left side of the net. Just an incredible play by Jason Robertson. Incredibly physical play entering the zone, keeping the stick on the puck and keeping the guy on his back. And for a back check, like, never let him get in front of him, never let him get a chance at the puck, and then sends that puck in very easily. It reminded me a lot of what a goal was last season, Matt Duchene against the Blues. It was at home earlier in the season, maybe halfway through the season. They're in overtime. It's not the exact same because Duchene had a lot of speed coming into the zone and kind of just outskated everybody. But the way that it was on his backhand, all of a sudden it's on his forehand and in the net. Like, there wasn't a lot of time in between the transfer of getting to the forehand and putting the puck in the back of the net. Reminded me a lot of that Duchene one against Bennington in overtime last season. Awesome, awesome goal from Robo. I believe it was still in the first, or maybe it was early in the second. Maverick Bork gets a goal called back. Offside. Rope was offside by like an inch. Rope thought he was offside entering the zone. Like, he slowed up. He thought it was going to get whistled down. It didn't. They get the goal. But Toronto goes in and challenges it, and it was an easy call back. He was offside. It is annoying that you can do all of that and be an inch offside, and they didn't call it in real time. They can go back and look at it. Instant replay is good. Instant replay is bad. I think there's a lot of good with it. I think there's a lot of bad with it. When you take 10 minutes to do a replay, that's when I get upset. They did not take that long for this one. Toronto called a timeout to get a little extra time to look at it. They challenge it, they call it back. It was a pretty simple, easy, quick turnaround, I believe. So you should be up to nothing. You're not. You're offside by half an inch. You get to the third period, though. Second period, pretty much nothing. It was tough sledding for shots. Jake Ottinger stood on his absolute head in the second period, I will say. There was a lot of onslaught there at the end of the second period where loses his stick. He has 3, 4, 5 saves maybe right there in the last 20 seconds of that period. Absolutely incredible game from Jake Ottinger through that period. Awesome game. He was stopping all kinds of stuff. Had that crazy save, I believe, in the first period on Austin Matthews on a breakaway by himself. The glove save shows it a little bit. He's flaring the glove a little bit. So Otter, hell of a game last night through 2 periods. And then you get to the third period where the Stars had only had 8 shots on goal, only 1 goal. Toronto had at that point 21 shots on goal and no goals. So you kind of take that. But you get to the third period. It's only 5 minutes in. You're like, man, I would really love a second goal here. Just one. Just 1 goal, I'd feel a lot more comfortable. 2 goals feels a lot better than 1 goal. I know Jake's standing on his head. If he walks away with a shutout, I wouldn't be shocked. If he walked away with only 1 goal allowed, I wouldn't be shocked. But at that point, you're like, I just need 1 more goal. Ilya Lyubushkin sends it from the top of the point in the offensive zone. It looks like a knuckleball right off of knuckle puck, I guess, right off the stick. And you're like, okay, Ilya Lyubushkin, back-to-back games with the goals scored? Sure, why not? You look at the replay, it's Sam Steele. Sam Steele barely nicks it with the tip of his stick, gets it to go back into the back of the net. You're up 2-0. You feel a lot better at the end of the day. That's all it was. I felt tremendously better after Sam Steele gets that goal. You're up 2-0. Unfortunately, it didn't last too long, the happiness. Lawton kind of entered the zone, not on a breakaway, but just had enough room and just really one-on-one with Jake and made a really good shot. It was really right off the break. And yeah, I mean, it was a great goal by Lawton. So at the end of the day, it's 2-1. It's one that Jake I'm sure he wants back because it was the only goal he allowed. And he played really, really, really well against a lot of really outstanding shooters like Willie Nylander and Austin Matthews. Like, the team's good. And for him to stand on his head that way, I know a lot of people are doing it against Toronto right now, but those are still really good skaters. Those are still really good shooters. Great game from Jake. I know he gave up that one by Lawton, but it is what it is. You take a 2-1 lead. Later on in the period, 12-10 into it, Jamie Benn. It was just tip day, and they were just getting tips left and right. Sam Steele gets a tip. Then Jamie Benn gets a tip from Esa Lindell and Miro Heiskanen from the point. Obviously, we've been kind of missing the tips. We haven't been scoring a lot of those recently. I think last week was Oscar Back gets that tip against the Kings to take the lead, and all of a sudden things are looking pretty good for the tip boys. There's a lot of tips recently in the last week. Like to see that. Kind of miss that aspect of the game. I think they're getting back to the dirty areas again, and they're not taking crazy shots on goal. Obviously, I think the Stars had a decent amount in the third period here, 14 shots on goal, but at the end of the day, we talked about it, I think, with Savannah, and goalie mentioned that the guys look for A++ chances, not just A+ chances, not just grade A chances. They're looking for the best opportunity to score on goaltenders because goaltenders are too good and defenses are too good. And so if you can set up a chance where it's like a 50-50 shot as opposed to a 30-70 shot or a 25-75 shot where A and A+ chances are, a 50-50 shot is way better. And if you can get a good stick on it and get the good lift on it, whatever it is, you take those. But it's funny that 2 tips come from Steele and Jamie Benn, who they're not the ones that are going to get you crazy grade A+ chances. Like, they're going to take their chances. They're going to shoot a little bit more, and that's what goalie wanted. He wants the top 6 with Robo, Mikko, Wyatt, Rope, those kinds of guys to take the A++ chances, and then he wants the bottom 6 to go create a little bit of chaos, get pucks on net, kind of throw the goaltender off of his rhythm for when those other guys come out. And if the bottom 6 scores a goal, that's awesome. That's great. That's additive. And then if you tire them out a little bit and then you get Mikko, Wyatt, Rope, Robo out there, they can get their A++ chances, and he's already tired. He score a goal a little bit easier from that point. But 2 tips, Steele and Jamie, makes it 3-1. And then Maverick Bork gets his goal back. That was called back earlier in the game. It's an empty netter. It's 4-1. Maple Leaf fans were all over my timeline this morning. TikTok, Twitter, all of it. They're all having meltdowns after the Maverick Bork empty netter goal. Like, I don't think the Maple Leafs played that great. They didn't take care of their chances, and they had a lot of giveaways. They had 24 giveaways as opposed to the Stars only had 10. They didn't play a great game, and I don't know if they're a great team. I don't know what the problem is. Obviously, Berube called them out last week in the press, and it's just a little crazy up there in Toronto. But 4-1 empty netter from Maverick Bork. And then with 17 seconds left, why not Justin Ritzkovian? Shout out to our guy, Luke. Luke runs our social media pages on Instagram and Twitter. He does a great job. He makes all these graphics. He's tweeting out the game clips. He's doing all kinds of stuff. Works really hard for us. He went to the game last night, so I was tweeting from the main account. And Luke's favorite guy is Ritzy at the end of the day. He's ball of energy. Likes to hit people. He scores goals. He goes crazy when he scores goals. This goal, you go up 5-1. There's no point to score it, but damn it, is Ritzy ever going to score for Luke? Luke was in the building. Ritzy had to get one. So shout out to Luke. Shout out to Ritzy. Makes it 5-1. Stars win. That's tic-tac-toe 4 in a row for the Dallas Stars. They're moving and grooving right now. They're feeling a lot better than they did against Florida and Minnesota last week. It is what it is. You're going to lose some games in this hockey world. Let's take a look at the standings real quick before we get out of here, because it's insane. Colorado just is five-game win streak. They beat Minnesota last night, so they're at 59 points. They've played 2 less games than the Stars at 35. The Stars played at 37, 55 points. Minnesota's played 37 games with 49 points. They're 7-3 in their last 10. The Stars are 8-2, and the Colorado Avalanche are 8-1-1. There is there another team in the 50s? There is 0 other teams in the NHL that have 50-plus points, and the Stars and the Avalanche have 55 and 59. It is a 2-horse race at this point for the President's Trophy, for the best record, for the Central Division, for the top seed in the West. It is chaos. Obviously, the President's Trophy curse is a thing, but the last time the Stars won the Cup, they won the President's Trophy. So people forget. The Stars still, I don't think, have played their best hockey. And the Avalanche have played their best hockey for the first, call it 35 games of the season. Almost half of the season, they've been playing their best hockey. It's insane. They're 26-2-7. It's unreal. Only 2 regulation losses. The Stars are 25-7-5, which is an outstanding record. I saw a graphic, I believe, through 30 whatever games that the Winnipeg Jets were at last year. They had 49 points, 47 points. I can't remember. And this year there's like 3 teams that were surpassing that. And it's obviously the Avalanche, Stars, and Minnesota Wild. So outstanding records from these teams. It's a bloodbath. The playoff format has to change. The playoff format has to change. Gary Bettman has to change the playoff format, because there is no way, shape, or form that Minnesota should not have a first-round home ice advantage. There's just not. They're the 3rd best team in the league, and they're going to have to play on the road in the first round against the 2nd best team in the league. That is ridiculous, Gary Bettman. I know you're trying to create narratives and create rivalries, and it worked for a little bit, but now is the time to change it, because the Central Division is far too good to have to play against one of the Central Division opponents right off the rip. It's just ridiculous. Like, Colorado should be playing the Mammoth. The Stars should be playing the Kings right now. The Wild should be playing the Oilers, which isn't like a fun thing, but that's where the Oilers are at in the standings. Like, that's who they should be playing in the first round. Make it 1-8, 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, so on and so forth. It's ridiculous. I need it to happen. Gary Bettman, please, for the love of God, change the playoff format. It is not fair to any of these teams, let alone the Dallas Stars. It's just not at the end of the day. But that's standing talk. Detroit, Tuesday. Detroit's pretty good. I wouldn't say they're great, but they're pretty good. I like them. They're at 45 points, so they're pretty decent. Obviously, top of the Atlantic Division, 21-13-3. So not a lot of OT losses, a lot of regulation losses. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10, so they're playing really well. 2-game win streak. Obviously, you got Patrick Kane, Dylan Larkin. You got some guys on that roster that are really good. And you're going to Detroit for the first time. You're playing, I guess that's 2 or 3 teams that you're playing back-to-back-to-back that you haven't played at all this season, which is very funny. They haven't played any of these teams, and you're almost halfway through the season. Alex DeBrincat leads the team in scoring with 40 points, 20 goals, 20 assists. Just an even hockey player right there. Lucas Raymond's really good. Dylan Larkin, Sider, Patrick Kane. You know, this team's good at the end of the day, and I don't know what to expect from this game, but the Stars are playing really well. They've won 4 in a row. They've won 4 in a row for a reason. I'm going to roll with the Stars. and I'm going to take it 4-2. I think they're scoring goals at a crazy rate, even without the shots on goal. Obviously, in Anaheim, they shot 50% with their goals. They had 8 goals on 16 shots. I think they ended with 18 or 19 shots on goal, but 8 goals on 16 shots. They kind of did a lot of the same against Toronto. They only had 8 shots on goal in the first 2 periods. They ended up scoring 5 goals. Yeah, this team's good. This team's really good. They're scoring goals right now, which is something we didn't really see the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season. Now they're starting to score goals. The defense is starting to get in there, and also their PK is up top 5 now. Their power play is obviously top 2. So when you got those 2 things mixing, and then you're scoring 5-on-5 goals, that's huge. And you're getting empty netter goals, which we don't typically do. Big things from the Stars. I'm going to take it 4-2, maybe without an empty netter. I think you're at 4-2 without the empty netter. We'll see what happens in Detroit on Tuesday night. I'll either record right after that game or on early Wednesday morning. So there will be an episode on Wednesday. And after that, we'll be taking off for the rest of the week. We'll be back on Monday next week after this Wednesday episode to talk about the Blackhawks playing on the 27th. I can't remember. I won't be in town for a while. I'll be in the South until like mid-January. So I won't be back in AAC until January 18th. So a little over a month. It's going to suck, but that's it. Stars are good. Tic-tac-toe, 4 in a row. Stars win. Just a bunch of really good games there. Good win against Toronto. Great win against Anaheim. And now it's on to Detroit for the dad's trip. The dad's trip looks like it was a lot of fun. They're taking tequila shots after the game last night. Let's have a little fun. Let's win on dad's trip in Detroit and get to Christmas break on a 5-game win streak. That'll do it for Clean Sheet of Ice. Little solo pod action. Shout out to our sponsor, Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. Stock up before the holidays. You got 3 days till Christmas. Go get some Zing Zang today. Sang responsibly all season long with the best Bloody Mary mix in America. And shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code CSOI when you sign up. Play your first $5. Get $75 in bonus entries. Underdog is a daily fantasy app. It is not sports betting. So we love Underdog. We love Zing Zang. And we love you guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We want to give away this Miko Rantanen bobblehead at $250. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, or wherever you get us on audio platforms like Apple and Spotify. We love you guys. Shout out to Texas Hockey. And we'll be back very, very soon with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast.